Yo, hey guys. Just checking if this is working. See if we're live or not. I haven't done a live, haven't done a public live stream in a while, so see how many people come on. Normally just do it for my group. That's cool. Feel like having a bit of a chill sesh. Cool. All right, let's get into it. So, guys, getting heaps of messages, people panicking, wondering about Bitcoin price, this and that, all this sort of stuff. So I thought I'd do a quick live just to cover overall thoughts. Before we get into anything about price or what's happening in the market, all that sort of shit. Basically, when you enter the market, guys, you should already have either a relatively good idea of your, cash out, take profit level. If you've got no idea about that at all, you need to do that first, okay? So before you invest in any market, any coin, whatever it may be, you need to have a plan first, and then you trade the plan, okay? So if you're just buying in random amounts and you've got no fucking idea what you're doing, you need to work out what you're happy with psychologically to, be happy with the profit. And what I mean by that is you need to have a plan to, if Bitcoin's peak is at 65K and we drop all the way back down to like 20K, 10K, 15K, and you didn't take profit, are you going to be more upset with yourself if you didn't take profit, or are you going to be more upset with yourself if you take profit around that 50K level, 60K level, and then it skyrockets to like 200K, for example? I know for myself, I would be more upset, and this is the way that I trade and do things. I scale out profits along the way. So I'm happy with any decision that the market makes. The market can go up, down, sideways, I don't give a shit, right? Because I've already got a plan. I've already got what I'm going to do to be happy with, regardless of what happened in the market. And we can always continue and plan on from there. So we'll quickly jump into Bitcoin price. Hey, Lindley, mate, how are you, buddy? Hope you're well, mate. We'll quickly jump into Bitcoin price and what's happened over the last 5-6 months. It's been a pretty crazy market over the last probably 12 months. So pretty much when you're looking at your charts, guys, you always want to scale in from the top down. Andrew, nobody knows the top, and this dip feels heavily manipulated. 100%, mate. Nobody knows the top. Nobody knows the bottom. I'm not saying to call tops or bottoms. I'm just simply saying you need to have a plan that you're happy with for yourself. That's all. So anyone spruiking, going around saying that they're going to call the absolute top or absolute bottom is just complete bullshit. Doesn't work. Anyway, so from a monthly perspective, if we scroll right out, right, we always want to use our highest time frames possible because they're the most important, right? So from a monthly perspective, you can see here this latest monthly candle, obviously this big ass red one, this hasn't closed yet. So technically, if price bounced off 35, 36K now, and it wicked all the way back up to like 60K, this would actually look like just a massive long wick, okay? If it closes the way it is at the moment, obviously we're short-term bearish because it's a massive push to the downside on a monthly scale. Overall, we're still bullish. Price can drop 20, 30, 40, 50, 60%, and we're still bullish, right? Because overall, we still haven't even retested our previous high at 20K. Before this market can even be called a bearish market, or if people are going around saying, oh, we're in a bearish market cycle, all this sort of shit, we haven't even retested the 20K level yet. So, we could come back and retest 20K. We could go on to make a new high at like 100K, 200K, whatever it may be. And that would be completely valid. We'd still be in a bullish market cycle. So we're not bearish at the moment. We're very short term bearish, but we're not like bearish overall. Yeah, because we haven't even retested. So if we look at the amount of months that we've had, positive months, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've had 6 months before we got this doji monthly candle. So 6 months of solid uptrend, okay, on a monthly scale, which is huge. That's a long scale. If we look back, even back to like 2017, we haven't had 6 months in a row of positive, price action in the last 4 years, 5 years. So it's a pretty huge move that's happened at the moment. So from a monthly perspective, this last candle, it has to close. It's not valid until it closes. So at the moment, from a monthly perspective, we're majorly bullish. If we scroll down to the weekly chart, if we take our fibs right down from our low, all the way up, we haven't even had, from a weekly perspective, we haven't even had a 50% retrace in like over a year. Haven't even had one 50% retrace on the weekly scale in over a year. So, this thing is way due for a pullback. Could keep going, could not, might come back. But, again, just getting back to that first point, you need to be happy and you need to be comfortable with whatever your decision may be for, your levels of taking profit. If you got in down here at 4K and and you haven't cashed out anything up until 64K, I think that's probably really unresponsible. Props if you've done that, you've got fucking major brass balls. I do a strategy myself of scaling out along the way. Did it back in 2017, doing it again. It works. It's fine. It suits my psychological trading style. So I'm happy regardless of if we turn bearish and come into, and this thing tanks out the ass back down to like 10K, or if it goes on to 100K, 200K, I'm happy either way. I don't care, right? Because I've already worked out my trade plan. I already know what I'm going to do, and I'm already doing it. So it doesn't matter to me whether the market goes up or goes down. So from a weekly perspective, we're still massively bullish. We haven't even tested the 50% fib yet, which is a huge, 61.8% fib. They're huge indicators. This line here is the 50 EMA. We haven't even touched the 50 EMA in like over a year. You know what I mean? So we're majorly bullish, due for a correction, all those sorts of things. We can easily go on to make another new high from here if the market just treats it as a pullback. If it doesn't, we'll see what happens. So no more questions in the chat so far, so I'm just going to keep rambling on unless people want to ask questions. So what makes sense to me at the moment is somewhere around here. Where's my drawing tools? Somewhere around like here to see what happens. Okay, from a weekly and daily perspective, and then we start to scale down to like 4 hourly, 1 hourly. The reason you want to start with your higher time frames is because that's where you want to get your market bias. So we're still bullish. So dips are for buying basically. Dips aren't for, panicking and selling right now. We still haven't even tested this 20K level, which we smashed through. So just going back to the monthly really quick, you can see from a monthly perspective, we just like obliterated the previous high. Okay, from a monthly perspective, we just absolutely smashed it. From a weekly perspective, again, we got some very slight resistance at that level for a week, and then boom, bullish engulfing, straight through it, straight out, clean cut, just broke out massively. So, that 20K resistance level is it didn't act as much of a resistance for new price to go through it. So it was good to see. But at the same time, we haven't even retested that level properly. You know what I mean? So, you know, people have been asking me the whole time, and for me to invalidate like a bullish market cycle, realistically, we've got to come back down. We've got to retest the 20K. At some point, we have to break through that 20K, retest the 20K, continue to the downside, and then I'm bearish. So this is what I mean by you need to have a plan before we get there, right? Like, you know, I'm bullish until this invalidates our previous high. For me to, you know, break through this to the downside, retest it, and then break down lower again, for me to be bearish, like by that time, you've already lost, you know, you've already lost like 70, 80% of the money from the top. So what I do with my own strategy is I, you know, take profits along the way, because if the market pulls back that far, I'm happy. If it doesn't pull back that far and continues on, I'm happy because I'm still trading, I'm still doing, you know, still doing things, still making money in that market. So it really doesn't matter if Bitcoin comes back down in price or not to me, because it'll still, you know, I'll just react accordingly to whatever is happening at the time. Bullish markets are obviously way more fun because there's just so much more shit going on. It's easier to make, way easier to make money in a bullish market, obviously. Anyone can throw a dart at a dartboard during a bullish market and make money. Bearish market, obviously, with like altcoins and Bitcoin price coming down and things like that as well in dollar value and also Satoshi value, it's definitely harder, obviously. But, you know, you trade, you make a plan, and you still make money during that period if you're a good trader. I'll get onto ETH soon, Andrew. So yeah, so for me, Bitcoin is where Bitcoin is at the moment. If we go down to like a 1-day chart, for example, this kind of paints a bit of a clearer picture. You know, you can see a clear, you know, you can see like a clear head and shoulders here, this sort of thing. Head and shoulders is obviously a bearish pattern. So from this point, you know, if we go back here from a daily perspective, you know, we're making high highs, high lows, high high, and then we make our first lower low, right? So I'm just going to write that for people so it makes sense. I have no idea if people know what a higher high or a higher low even is. So text. So just to give an example, you know, HH is higher high, which means we're moving up. Higher low means we're moving up in like steps, basically. So here we've got a HL, we've got a higher low. Here we've got a HH, we've got a H, we've got a higher high. You know, here we've got a higher low, for example. As long as you're making higher highs and higher lows, you know, you're going to continue in that bullish pattern. Once you start making lower lows and lower highs, as you'll see here, so higher high. Now this is a lower low, so LL. So what this means is this low here, I'll just zoom in a bit to make it a bit easier for people to see. This price here is lower than this low here, okay? Which then signifies, you know, okay, so we've made a lower low now. We could be looking to set up for a pullback. It then retraces back to a lower high, okay? A lower high. Okay, so market sentiment at the moment is potentially going to shift short term to the downside. Now here, you know, we haven't finished making our, we don't know if this is obviously going to be a lower low, but we don't know how far that this lower low is going to actually form. If we get something like this happening, where's my arrow? If we get something like this happening, you know, if we're going to continue to the downside, something like this makes sense because, you know, you kind of retesting this level here, and then you could have a higher high, lower high here, okay, and then we could make like a lower low. This is what's going to happen if we're going to continue to be sort of bearish, and then expect to test the 61.8 fib. On the daily chart, with if this closes bearish, on this day, we've technically broken through the 200 EMA. We've already broken through the 50 EMA on the daily, those sorts of things. So down at about this 50% level is where the weekly 50 EMA comes into play. So 50 and 200 EMA are big players in the market. They're the most respected EMAs across, crypto stocks, Forex, everything else. So if we start making lower lows, lower highs, we could potentially come back down, see the 50% retrace, see the 61.8 retrace, could even get down to 20K and see a retest of that. Now, if we bounce off there and we start to make higher highs, higher lows, all that sort of stuff again, we could go on to make a new all-time high. If we don't, if we go sideways for a bit, altcoins will pick up, all those sorts of things. The money will flow around to altcoins, which will be great. More trading time. Great, cool. While we're still in a bullish market. So at the moment, we're short-term bearish, long-term bullish still. Until we invalidate, down around this 20K level, we're still looking for buy opportunities. You got to be smart about it, because while you're in a short-term bearish market, you don't want to be just diving into any coin, buying random things. You want to see where this is going to stabilize. Because if you start buying right now, for example, you're doing what's called catching a falling knife. You're trying to just buy in at some random price that you have no idea where price is going. There's no stabilization. It hasn't finished moving yet. It's still accelerating to the downside right now on this daily candle. So you don't want to just randomly keep buying. So yeah, we'll scroll down to like the 4-hourly chart now. So you can see the highs and higher lows. Oops, just gonna move that back over here. So this is kind of what's happened. Here's our head and shoulders on the 4-hourly chart. 4-hourly chart, as this is broken down, the 50s crossed the 200 EMA on the 4-hourly chart. The lower the time frame that you get down to, guys, the less the less you really want to start paying attention to this. The shorter the time frame, the less relevant it is in the overall grand scheme of things. It can help determine, you obviously determine short-term trends and changes and movements, but overall you still want to be trading in a direction of, your weekly bias, monthly bias, those sorts of things. So, as I said, I'm still looking for buy opportunities, but we really need to see some sort of consolidation or something where this is going to actually stop, to start buying again. Most people in the groups are just excited at the moment, bit of a euphoric feeling. Obviously that's cool. If it's their first bull market cycle, they're probably going to get destroyed at some point, and then they'll learn hopefully for next time. And then you'll start to integrate strategies like either scaling out or setting yourself a goal for take profit and using the rest to trade, using the rest to try to increase, try to compound, try to change, sort of thing. So I've already hit that goal during this season at the moment. So for me, the rest of the money on the cards is really just it's just play money basically. What we're gonna do, we're gonna look at Ethereum. So Ethereum's pretty much in the same point, except we've got a bigger pullback happening on Ethereum, and it's made like a much more recent move to the upside. So it was kind of like, it was staggering around between this sort of 1400 to 2K level for a couple of months, and then it broke out, and it broke out really well. Pretty much did a 2x. Got up to like 4K, over 4K, and now we're starting to get a bit of a pullback on Ethereum as well. So, Same thing on Ethereum from a weekly perspective. We haven't even had any major pullbacks on Ethereum. So, look to, that this 2K level is a good level. Comes onto the line, 2K. So 2K is a good support and resistance level. You can see we bounced off 2K initially as our new all-time high, and then we did like it's about a 35, 40. What's 2K take? It's about a 35% retrace, and then we went back up, started making higher highs, higher lows, consolidated. There's a triangle there, and then we broke out to the upside, smashed through 2K, retested 2K 2 weeks in a row, and then we went on to make a new high again. So Ethereum has kind of been, as far as like technical analysis point of view, Ethereum has made a lot more sense than what Bitcoin has made, based on it's actually like making new highs, it's respecting old levels, it's respecting current high levels, those sorts of things. It's retesting them before it's going on making new highs. So it's like, in terms of like a tradable coin, it's more like stable per se. For me, it's easier to chart and to think about where price is probably heading towards consolidations and those sorts of things. So for me right now, wouldn't be surprised if we came back to retest the 2K level on Ethereum, based on previous support and resistance. This is a pretty strong level through here. It coincides, if we drop down to like 1850-ish, coincides with a 61.8% fib. 50% fib's obviously a bit higher, so we'll see what happens around that level as well. If we drop down to like the daily chart, for example, you can see all the higher highs, higher lows happening. This is where we got our bit of consolidation through here. Where's my trend line chart? So you can see a bit of consolidation through here with the old triangle sort of thing, and then we broke out. So boom, broke out to the upside, retested the 2K, went up to make a new high. So we're coming back down at the moment to possibly retest. There's a bit of a support and resistance level through here at about 2,500. So it'd be interesting to see if we bounce off that or if we continue to fall down back to 2K, and then we see what happens around 2K. Now, what happened for the start of the bearish cycle, last market cycle back in end of 2017, start of 2018? We pretty much had Bitcoin dominance. So this is a Bitcoin dominance chart, which is very important. We pretty much had Bitcoin dominance drop right down to like 35%. We're sitting around 40% now, but we've just obviously pumped back off that level. Now, Bitcoin dominance is just the amount that Bitcoin is dominating the overall market cap of crypto versus every other altcoin. Okay, so the reason Bitcoin dominance has started to drop quite a lot, even though its price hasn't been hugely impacted, is because the market cap of every coin was increasing. All this money is flowing into all these shit coins, like all these safe coins, these moon coins, these fucking dog coins, these animal coins, all that sort of stuff. So all that does is it just distributes the wealth across. Okay, it doesn't increase the market cap of crypto. Once the market cap is kind of hit and the funds start getting distributed, people start making profit, a lot of people start losing, things consolidate, these sort of moves happen, all that sort of stuff. It's just a market cycle. It happens all the time. So you see money flow in and out of Bitcoin, in and out of other altcoins all the time. Okay, so it's just a normal market cycle. It just happens. So pretty much the biggest thing for me to be eyeing off that we're exiting like an altcoin market at the moment is if we drop to like below 35% or even lower. What happened last time around was Bitcoin dominance dropped to about 35%, and then altcoins went absolutely euphoric. Like that's what this chart is here. So from, mid-December, Bitcoin went on a massive rally, new all-time highs, close to 20K. Everything was fucking pumping. Altcoins were even pumping. And then Bitcoin tanked out the ass, or started to tank out the ass. Altcoins were still rallying. They were still rallying hard for a good few weeks. And then all of a sudden, altcoins started to drop harder than what Bitcoin started to drop. And that's this Bitcoin dominance effect, and to keep an eye on overall in your altcoin markets. So that I'm keeping an eye on that, mainly because I'm in a lot of altcoins at the moment. So this for me is a good indicator to my sort of timing around bullish bearish market cycles. My goal was to sideline a lot of capital around about the Christmas time, because it just makes the most sense to me around Christmas time. The big indicators that are going to change that fact for me are a few things. So if the US government and all the other governments basically stop printing money out their asshole, we're going to see less of that money flow into crypto. Even though it's only a small amount that comes into crypto, we're still seeing money come into crypto because of that. The other big thing is COVID restrictions at the moment around travel, right? If the whole world opens up and everybody all of a sudden wants to go on a holiday, they want to take a 3-month vacation, they want to go here, they want to do there, they want to buy this, they want to buy that. People are going to take profits on all of their investments to do that. Okay, so crypto, people in crypto, they're just throwing money at anything. They're probably going to be the first to exit, to want to go on a holiday or buy something cool, or buy this or buy that, with travel restrictions easing. So if the whole world all of a sudden just opens back up, and there's no more travel restrictions, I think we'll see a massive tank in the market. And that's just another sign for me. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, but it means that I need to be prepared for it. Okay, and if it does happen, I've already done what I need to do to be happy with if it does happen and the rest of my portfolio tanks. I've already covered that, you know what I mean? Like, I need to be happy with if that does happen. And these are all things that I'm proactively thinking about in the future, around what can affect the market. So that for me is the two major things that are going to kick off a bearish market, because once everybody starts doing that, starts the panic cycle, human psychology, we go into all that other bullshit about people panic selling and taking profits and all that sort of stuff. Majority of people are going to lose money. There'll be a big chunk of people who make a shitload of money, but majority of people who are buying the tops and stuff like that, who are coming into crypto like now, they're probably going to end up losing money, in the next bearish cycle. Like, they're probably not going to have the trade plan or the goal to go, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to make X amount and then I'm going to put some sideline profits or whatever. They're going to keep compounding, thinking everything's all fucking sweet, and then all of a sudden it's going to tank out the ass and they're going to lose a shitload of money. So those guys are going to get hit the hardest. And everybody who was through the previous market cycle will probably have learned a lot from the previous market cycle as well. Those guys will get hit probably bad as well, but probably not as bad as new guys into the fold and into the thick of things. So yeah, that's kind of Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin and Ethereum. I was going to cover a few new coins that I'm kind of watching, because I'm always on the scout for new shit coins, guys. For me, any brand new coin or anything like that, I just treat it as a complete gamble. It's you can do as much research as you want or whatever. You're gonna get rugged at the end of the day if you buy into shit coins. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. And if you want to try and make those crazy profits, it's a risk versus reward scenario. So again, if you are buying into a whole bunch of these safe moon shit coins, whatever they are, you need to be doing it with risk management. You need to be buying in a small percentage of your overall portfolio, maybe 1 or 2% or whatever, per coin. So if you lose it, you're only losing a small portion. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. If you have a winner, great. You're probably at 5-10x on whatever you put in. 5-10x is pretty, it's pretty easy to get in a new coin at the moment. So, you only have to win a few times to cover any losses, and you'll be well in front. So, big things to keep an eye on, or big things that I'm keeping an eye on at the moment, are Solana projects and Solana dot and what's the other coin? Solana dot Matic a little bit. Matic has launched recently, and you're starting to get a few projects popping up on Matic. It's kind of like using Binance Smart Chain through MetaMask. You've got to add the network, all that sort of shit. The next big ones for me are going to be projects on like Solana, ADA, so Cardano, Solana. I think they're going to go through a cycle similar to what Binance Smart Chain did, and they're coming out with some new launch pads, and like they're going to have like farming tokens. They're going to have like, Binance Smart Chain has like Pancake Swap, so you're going to have like a Uniswap, Pancake Swap type utility on those blockchains. So yeah, these are the next big hype market cycles to watch out for: Solana projects and ADA projects. Now ADA stuff's probably still at least a couple of months away from what they're saying. Who knows how long it's going to be. Solana will probably be the next. So keep an eye on hype market cycles around Solana, like any Solana tokens. There is a Solana, so Solid.io is an easy way to get an online Solana token wallet, and this will handle, it's kind of like MetaMask kind of thing. You can add tokens in here, you can manual input, adding tokens and shit to your wallet. This is what I'm going to be using for any of these sort of new projects. You basically just you get it when you create an account. You get the passphrase. You save the passphrase in case you lose it, and then you've got an online wallet. So it's pretty cool. Gravity app, so Gravity Finance app. This is one that I actually saw shared in Crypto Australia, I think, from Travis. So 0.5 ETH is the max buy-in. If the maximum raise goes over 1,000 Ethereum, you get a percentage of it. So let's say it goes to 2,000 Ethereum, you'll get 0.25 Ethereum, and you'll probably get the other 0.25 returned or whatever. So this is on Polygon, which is Matic. So this app will be on Matic. So it'll be interesting to see what this project does. So I'm not huge on Matic projects, because I'm kind of like to me Matic, it was kind of like when Binance Smart Chain first launched. It was like this, for like 95% of people, it's too hard for them to like download this wallet, like add this other chain. They've got to get these like web URLs, and they've got to add all this shit in. Then they've got to convert currency over to it. They've got to use this and use that. So it's kind of like Matic is at that stage now where there's not many people using it, because it's another fuck around to get, you've got to add it to your MetaMask and all that sort of stuff. So Matic itself, like the actual projects on Matic, could start to take off, because it's new, it's fresh, a lot of people haven't caught on to it yet, all those sorts of things. So again, at the start of the hype cycle. But for me, I think because Matic is fairly fresh with the way that it's just boomed lately, I think for me personally, like I'll be looking more at Solana, because I think Solana overtakes it in terms of user base, following, socials, hype, marketing, all those sorts of things. So I think more people start building on Solana, or start converting over to Solana, start using Solana, then something like, Matic, for example. That's just my feeling, pure opinion, based on, the amount of people that I've seen talking about it and stuff like that through socials. So, could be completely wrong. Matic could kick its ass, and I could make less money, but that's what happens. That's what you do. You do some research, and you go with your research. So anyway, that's kind of that Gravity token sale. So if you I'll just copy and paste that into the chat in case people are playing back. All the other bullshit, invest at your own risk, blah blah blah. Not liable for anything, just my opinions. So that's the Gravity app. So that's just Solana wallet. The other ones I'm watching on Binance Smart Chain at the moment. There's a token called Nudes, and it's like tanked at the ass. There was some issues with like the dev. Some other people have picked it up. Apparently, it's going to be going to have some legs behind it with other people taking over development and doing it. It's one of those ones. It's like, it could be good, it could be completely shit. So that's a complete gamble. Poocoin is another just shitcoin, complete gamble. Possible play. Save is a pretty cool project. It's called Save the World. They've donated a bunch of money to like Indian COVID relief and all that sort of shit. So it's one that could be worthwhile, could be long term. Shiba Moon is tanked out the ass, probably not worth looking at. WSP is Wall Street Pets. It's basically like, it's kind of like Save. It's another charity token type thing, mainly focused around animals and stuff. It's pretty cool. They were going to do some donations coming up soon, so hopefully that gets done. Cummies is a big one. So for me, Cummies is probably like, you see all these like adult tokens and shit coming out at the moment. There's one called Lonely Fans or something like that, trying to compete with like OnlyFans. Cummies is kind of trying to do the same thing, but they were originally created first. They've got a dev which isn't anonymous. They've got a dev which is like active in the community and everything. They've got heaps of people coming on board. They've got massive hype behind them. They've got a good marketing. So this project could actually be a good long-term project, even though its name is like, you're just like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is his name? So it could be a good long-term project. Obviously, there's already like 80k plus token holders in that coin, and it's on BNB. So 80k token holders on BNB is not uncommon for a massively hyped coin, because you get a lot of people buying in with like $50 or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you have huge fees on the Ethereum side. So those are the ones that I'm watching on Binance Smart Chain at the moment. And this is awesome what they've done with this Poocoin app, right? Because this multi-chart thing is actually really cool. Like, it's good to see this thing being initiated. Wow, hasn't that tanked out the ass? That was like $12 or $13 yesterday. Anyway, so you can go to, so this Poocoin app is for all Binance Smart Chain tokens, but it's pretty cool because you can just multi-chart you can add whatever charts in you want, and you just copy paste the address in up here, and then you can do it. You can move them around. You can move them into whatever spots you want. It's pretty cool. It's actually a really good idea. I like it. So yeah, that's Poocoin. There's another token sale someone sent in our group. Like, it's called a Safe Palestine. Listing in 6 hours. Who knows? Might chuck a couple of BNB at it. It's a complete gamble. That's it. Complete gamble. Look it up yourself if you want to. It's when's it launching? 6 hours. So it's like 5 a.m. my time. So might just jump in there. Bitcoin is dumping, big dog. Yeah. It is, mate. It is dumping out the arse. Oh, 33k now. It is. It sure is dumping out the arse. Bitcoin USDT on Binance. So yeah, straight on the 50 fib at the moment. Tanking big. It'll be interesting to see where this stops if we do get a retrace back down to 20k. Would be interesting to see what happens from there. Will be very interesting for me personally to be buying back into Bitcoin because I've already got a plan and I've already accumulated whatever I wanted to accumulate during bear, and I'm trading all those sorts of stuff. For me personally to be buying Bitcoin again, it needs to be sub 15k. 15k and below, you know, I would consider moving some Tether and stuff back into Bitcoin. At the moment, I'm not interested at these levels. It's you know, it's we need to see where it stops. And for me, you know, I really want to see a retest of 20k on Bitcoin itself, because you know, just trading other stuff at the moment. Like, I don't really care about Bitcoin price to be honest right now. So it is interesting, and yeah, you know, traditionally we've had 80% plus pullbacks, and 80% pullback is about 16k from current all-time high. So we can definitely get down to, you know, we can definitely get back to 20k. There's no reason why this can't get back to 20k. Not right now, but I'm saying there's no reason that it couldn't get back to 20k. There are other factors at play right now, though. Obviously, you know, the Fed printing money thing. We've got more money in crypto at the moment than I believe we would have normally, due to, you know, same thing with COVID, travel restrictions, people not able to travel, people saving money there, people worried about their jobs, people worried about this and that. So they're not spending as much money. They're looking for something to invest in. They've found crypto. Money's flowing into crypto. So from an overall, you know, market perspective, we've got more money in crypto than what we probably should have right now, in terms of the overall market pump, how high we went, and all that sort of stuff. Right now, in my opinion, based on, you know, all those other factors. So it'll be interesting to see how hard it tanks, how far it tanks. It will be interesting. It will be very interesting. Has anyone got any questions while we're on here about any other coins or anything? %40 of all money in the US was printed last year. Yep, you're correct. I don't know if it's actually 40%, but it's definitely over 30%. I know that much. Like, I can safely say it's over 30%. I don't know the exact figure, but yeah, it's very high. So, you know, just based on that fact alone, realistically, we're probably inflated by at least 30% from where we should be. Just based on that, just based on that alone, not even taking into consideration COVID and all this other bullshit. So, yeah, AVAX and Solana. Yeah, I've covered Solana. So Solana is my next big one on the hit list. Solana projects, I reckon, will be massive. Same with Cardano projects. So that on my hit list is Cardano and Solana for the next, like those to me are the next, you know, market cycle hype. You're gonna get your Solana swap. You're gonna get your fucking Solana farm. You're gonna get your Solana Dogecoin. You're gonna get your Solana Pets coins. You're gonna get all this other bullshit on Solana as well. So we can. yeah, same with Cardano. You're gonna get all those on Cardano again. So it's interesting time. So that's what I'm watching next. That's what I'm keeping a close eye on next is Solana at the moment to see when they're gonna be doing some cool shit. I actually did register for a Solana Sol pad. So I'm gonna paste this in the chat. Sol pad finance. There is a whitelist there. It's obviously free and that sort of thing to try and get some Solana Sol pad. We had BSC pad, those sorts of things doing launch pads. So Sol pad, 21k members. Fair bit of hype in here at the moment. Can you show me how to get ETH in my ETH mainnet to my Matic network? Yeah, sure, mate. I certainly can. So I think it's Matic Bridge. So if you use this link here, you basically connect your wallet. Wallet.matic network. I have no idea why that's not working at the moment, but anyway, oh man, I need to copy the link. Matic Bridge. Make sure you're going to this correct link, guys. You use the bridge. I'm just going to test it on an incognito window in case it's doing some weird shit with like I'm on smart chain at the moment, so maybe it's probably why it's not working. So MetaMask, sign. Waiting for MetaMask. So pretty much, this is working now. So pretty much what you want to do is come to that website. You hit MetaMask, right? It'll ask you to sign a thing. You hit sign, and then you can transfer, from Ethereum to Ethereum, basically. Then you hit, make sure the transfer mode, I think this is default. So it'll say from Ethereum to Matic network. So if you switch to if you come to this website, connect your wallet, make sure, I think if you're on your Ethereum chain, just check that. I think if you're on your Ethereum chain, your Ethereum should pop up. Bridge. Yeah, I used it earlier because I transferred funds from over to that Gravity thing. $300 fee? Really? Whoa. Ethereum network is getting smashed. Wow. Yep. Huge fees. Fuck that. I wouldn't bother. If it's going to cost that much, it's not worth getting. It's only 0.5 Ethereum max you can do anyway. I mean, you've got the good thing about this this IDO is technically you've got 16 hours to get in. So you could try and wait for the GUI to come down and send, or you could just take a gamble and send it like a much lower transaction transaction vision, number of blocks except in the last 200 blocks. So I mean, like from an average GUI perspective, you know, you could probably try and get away with like low hundreds, or maybe even like 150-ish. Might take a little while, but you've got, you know, you got 16 hours for the transaction to go through and for you to buy. So this isn't like a first come first serve basis. If they cap over their maximum raise, let's say they raise 2,000 Ethereum, and you've bought in with 0.5 Ethereum, you'll get like half of that, and then you'll get half of it returned. That's what they've said anyway. So yeah, pretty crazy. Crazy fees. This is another reason why Binance Smart Chain has done so well. If Ethereum fees were low, Binance Smart Chain wouldn't exist. It would be shit. But this is the only reason why people are going to Binance Smart Chain, because the fees are so cheap. Same thing with Matic and stuff. If Ethereum fees weren't still really high, and Binance Smart Chain took like 10 or 20% away from Ethereum, and then Ethereum fees were like really cheap, and people could use both of those with really cheap fees, you wouldn't get like Matic being a platform for people to be creating tokens on, just purely because of the difficulty level and the hardness level in getting people over to it. It's not worth it unless the fees are cheap. You know, that's the only thing going. That's the only thing going for Binance Smart Chain. At the beginning was the fees were cheap. That's it. So projects started going to cheap fees. If Ethereum fixed their shit, there wouldn't be any Binance Smart Chain. It wouldn't exist the way that it exists today. So, you know, from these fees has opened up more opportunity. That's why I think Solana and Cardano will still do really well, because I highly doubt ETH is going to fix their shit in the next couple of months. So, yeah, we'll see. Price prediction on BNB. So that is a good question and good topic. Again, the only reason why BNB has pumped so much is because they've been very adopting in the new hype cycles, in the new fads. So when DeFi started coming out with all these yield farms and stuff like that, guess what? Binance started bringing out, you know, you could stake BNB to get these new tokens. You could stake BNB to do yield farming, which was really easy for people. So people bought BNB. When Binance Smart Chain came out and you can buy tokens on like PancakeSwap and stuff like that, more people bought BNB because they want to use a much cheaper currency. So what you'll probably see is if Solana and Cardano actually do really well, you'll probably see Binance coin tank in value a lot, because a certain percentage of their market share will go to Solana. It will go to Cardano, for example. So just keep that in the back of your mind. BNB is priced highly at the moment because of its utility. That's the only reason why. People don't hold BNB because they get cheap fees for trading on Binance. Like they don't hold fucking 500 or 5,000 BNB, whatever it is, to get like 50% off your fees. Nah, that's just stupid. They've bought it because you can utilize it on other trading platforms to try and make money. So, price prediction on BNB. If Ethereum stays the way it is, and Cardano and Solana take a lot of time, and Matic doesn't take off as well as it probably might. You'll probably see BNB hit 1K. If Matic starts to take a percentage of the Ethereum share and BNB share, you'll probably see BNB, hover back around its previous all-time highs. Once Solana and Cardano come out, you'll probably see BNB drop. So BNB for me is it's one of the safer high cap coins because BNB themselves do buybacks, they do all this other shit. So eventually the token is gonna continue to increase over time, but there's no reason for it to go from like $40 to like $700 in the matter of a few months. It's only done that because of Ethereum fees. That's the only reason BNB has pumped that hard, is because of Ethereum fees. I hope that makes sense and helps. So for me, if I had a huge holding of BNB, I would be keeping a close eye on Ethereum, Matic, Cardano, and Solana. That's what I would be doing. BTC, where did it spike? Oh, spiked to 30K. Man, this thing is absolutely getting annihilated. 30K. I mean, people basically said to me, like, even when we're at like 60K, they're like, oh man, where do you think Bitcoin's going to come back to? Like, what could happen and shit? I'm like, it can drop 80%, it can drop 90%. It can happen. They're like, no way, man. Like, it's not going to go below like 40K, 50K. It's like, it will. It will. So that's another interesting conversation. But yeah, I mean, when it comes down to 30K, 20K, yeah, not really that far away, is it? It's like another 30% drop from 30K down to 20K. So, can it get back to 20K? Sure can. Is it going to happen? Don't know 100%, but I would, if we don't start making high highs, high lows again, I'd say yes. I'd say that's where it's kind of heading. I'm just gonna quickly check like Facebook and shit. I'm not really gonna go into too many questions and shit, but comment topics the video link, mate. Yeah, we'll probably cap it. We'll probably cap it off there anyway. Been streaming for about an hour now. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Yeah, let's check the total cap. So total cap is only 1.4 trillion at the moment. It's dropped 30%. It's huge. Shit is getting smashed. All I can say is if it, to me it's not the start of the bearish market cycle right now. If we do end up full bearish, all I can say is, guys, wait for 80 to 90% drops on the big boys, Bitcoin, Ethereum, those sort of ones. And when I say 80% drop, I mean from their all-time highs. I don't mean from where they are now. I mean, from all-time highs. And then, start looking to acquire, start looking to accumulate again. All of those safe or Moon or fucking pet coins, whatever, if this is the start of like a bearish market cycle, they're all going to disappear. So, yeah, if you've got funds in those, they are pure gambles, basically. They've got no real use case for the future. They're here for you to flip and try and make money. People are going to lose, people are going to win. That's simple fact. Any of the, if you go back to the top 100 coins, last market cycle, majority of them are completely different from what they are now. So just because they're a top 100 coin doesn't mean they're going to hang around for the next 3 to 5 years. They could all shift. The only ones I would bet on absolutely long term are Bitcoin and Ethereum, number 1 and 2. I'm not attached to any other coin at all. I'm not attached to any other project. I'm not following any project specifically. For me, it's about Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I think there are great projects out there, like Cardano is doing great stuff. Will they be around in 5 years? I have no idea. DOT is a new one from this market cycle. DOT did not exist last market cycle. Look where it is, number 8. Things like Uniswap didn't exist. This Polygon, the Matic, didn't exist. Solana, all these sorts of coins that are like new blockchains, new technology, new places to build decentralized apps and all that sort of stuff upon, all those sorts of things. These didn't exist last market cycle. They weren't here. So, as long as the people who have created those projects have done the right thing by, tethering up majority of their initial investment money, they'll be in great, they'll be in great form for continuing on. The reason so many projects died in 2017, 2018 was because a lot of those, like ICOs and shit, a lot of those people just held on to the BTC and the Ethereum that they raised, and then it tanked out the arse 80%, and they couldn't continue to pay their devs and pay their staff and everything, so the projects disappear. So just keep that in mind. It's not a bad thing to do research into the projects that you're investing in. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So we've got to bounce back to 34.5. Pretty good. So yeah, we'll see where this goes. As I said, guys, at the start, not worried. Doesn't phase me either way where price ends up. It's all good. So we will see how we go. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it. Appreciate some of the comments and people's shout outs and stuff. It's pretty cool. I haven't done a public live stream in a long time. I normally just stream for my group. That group's full, and so don't worry about messaging me to get into the group because it's full. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thought I'd do something a bit different tonight. Take it easy, guys. Good luck in your markets out there. Take it easy. Peace out, guys.